What is it that Aquarius needs to know? What's coming up in July 2025 for Aquarius, please? All right, so you have peace. Very nice, Aquarius. So you chillaxing, taking it all in your stride, one day at a time, one thing at a time, one foot in front of the other. Very nice. I feel like you're rising above it all, literally. I don't always get that with this card, but that's literally what I'm getting here. It's like nothing new under the sun, right? So I feel like a lot of things that have people rattled and out of sorts, out of character, you're just chilling, okay? Because it's nothing new to you, yeah? And that makes sense. I mean, you guys, you are like the alien of the zodiac. You've seen a lot of different things, okay? You have this sort of extraterrestrial kind of mentality around, you know, certain things, you know? So I feel like it's easy for you to detach emotionally from certain things where you know it's not worth costing your peace, right? Because you know it doesn't solve anything. It's not that you don't care or you don't have feelings, but you're just discerning of what you should be stressing over, okay? And you're like, honestly, everything's going to work out okay, right? So you also have faith and trust that all will work out accordingly, okay? So honestly, I feel like July, you're taking a lot in your stride. Yeah, and I don't feel like exactly with the Angels of the Four Directions in the bottom deck in reverse, it's not that you know, you're lost or lacking clarity or anything, but you're not really seeking anything at this time. You're more in just the energy of experiencing, being present, which is really cool, okay? So right now it's like, no, whatever I need to know, I can look at that, I can find that out, but right now I'm just being. That's what I need right now, so that's what I'm doing right now, which is amazing, okay? Because like I say, it's important to do that, okay? To come back to the present and allow yourself to just simply be. It's not always about the grind, right? Even when it comes to the inner work, it's not always about the grind. Even when it comes to spiritual lessons and learning, it's not always about the grind. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to sit back and basically just marinate in the energy that you've acquired, right? In terms of your growth, in terms of your healing, in terms of shifting, right? Especially if you have shifted frequency, yeah, you want to get accustomed to that. You want to acclimatize to that new frequency. So it's important to just allow yourself to do that. Amazing. Tell me more about this energy for Aquarius. Yeah. So the Strength card came out, but it was doing this. It was twisting all over the place as it came out. So again, it's almost like it's giving me this meme that I saw the other day where it's like, I'm not spiritual bypassing, I've just seen it all. You know, it's literally that energy. It's like, I'm not spiritual bypassing, I've just seen enough to know that everything's going to be okay. You know, it's not my first rodeo. I've been through the death, rebirth cycle more times than I can count. So I'm just in an energy of pure surrender and trust at this point, right? So yeah, I do feel like you are going to be in quite a Zen energy, actually, Aquarius. This is really cool. Exactly. This couldn't be any more perfect. This is exactly what I was saying. I've seen enough to know. I've seen it all before. I already know how it's going to play out. I already know everything's going to be okay in the grand scheme of things. So what have I got to worry about? You know, anything I need to know, I will find out. But right now, I'm good just chilling, you know? And I'm just taking everything in my stride. That's so cool. You see, 2 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I'm telling you, right? This is amazing. So I see you being in very present energy, okay? Your mind is not focused on the past or the future. You're just taking everything in your stride right now, which is amazing, okay? Yeah, Knight of Swords energy. So it's funny because, again, it's like what I was saying. I feel like you're going to be in the energy of the observer, okay? So you're very much going to be sitting back. You may even feel like your higher self is going to show you some things, okay, with what's going on or what you need to be aware of. And you're just going to be quietly observing, right? As if you're sat on this swing, just watching the situation play out. So you may get a download or a premonition or something like that. You may be shown something and you're just observing it like as it presents itself, or you may see something in real time and you're just in the position of like an observer, a bystander, and you're just like, Yeah, well, I can understand why they're responding that way or why they're handling the situation that way, but I'm so glad I've learned different, right? Because you're like, that energy, even though it could be a well intentioned energy, it still doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lead to anything productive. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to take it in my stride. You know, when I have to speak my piece, I will speak my piece. When I have to respond, I will respond, right? But I'm not just going to be reacting all over the place. No, okay? I don't need to scream my thoughts or feelings on the matter. I don't need to have facts on blast, right? I can just go about my day, and when the time comes, I will say what I need to say if that does come up, right? It's that kind of energy. I hope you guys get what I mean. But that's literally the vibe here. It's like, I will deal with the situation as it arises accordingly. That's literally the vibe. So nonchalant, so detached, but in a very positive way. Yeah, the Fool, exactly. I'm telling you, a lot of you guys probably have ascended on some level recently, okay? You may have experienced another ascension, right? It's definitely giving that. And the thing is, when you do shift in frequency and you do have these experiences where you're in the seat of like the observer, right? When you're somewhat detached from even your reality, but not in an escapist way, but just in, you know, a way where your higher self is giving you like a bird's eye view on the circumstances. It's easy to not get so emotionally caught up in the things, right? In things that really don't need that kind of input, right? So I'm telling you, definitely a level up here, you know? And some people won't understand why you're not losing your ish, basically, over certain situations, why you're not easily rattled, why you're just calmly moving forward, right? And staying very present in the here and now. So, because you realize that's how people have leverage or control over you. If they can control your reactions, if they can control your mind, right, elicit certain responses from you, then you're giving them the power. Whereas you're not willing to do that, right? Because you see through that. Because you've got to remember, Aquarius energy as well, you're very good at seeing through mind games, okay? You're very analytical, very perceptive, right? But you're not analytical in the same way like Virgo is, for example. It's more just a case of, you know, you learn very quickly. You're a very intelligent sign. And it's easy for you to adapt, okay, to a different way, a new way of approaching things, doing things, okay? Again, very Aquarian energy, right? You guys are always striving to move forward, do things differently, find a better way, okay? There is that humanitarian aspect to it. So again, it's not that you don't care what happens in the world or what happens to people or people you know. It's just you're not going to run around like a headless chicken and just react for the sake of reacting. You're going to keep your mental cool, calm, and collected and respond accordingly in the right time. So, amazing energy, Aquarius. What can I say, right? You are prioritizing your peace above everything, right? But it definitely serves you well, okay? And I feel like you're going to be a lot happier as a result. And like I say, you're going to know when to respond and how to respond, right? But you're just not going to overwhelm yourself, right? Unnecessarily. So you choosing your peace, that's very, very positive, okay? So well done, Aquarius. It looks like you're going to have an amazing, very zen, very chilled month. Okay, I feel like a lot of the things that were weighing you down, you're just letting go, okay? And you're just going to be a lot happier for it, okay? So amazing energy for you. I hope that does help.